Hi, good afternoon. Sit down, listen up. We've got a cracker for you today. So, we'll get straight into it. Tulsi Gabbard, US Director of National Intelligence. She was born in 1981, and as a teen she went to private school and later joined the military. After the service, she went into politics. First she was a Democrat, then she joined the Republican Party. Now, that's not just American dream, that's American dream on steroids. That is the American wet dream. First, you're rich enough for private schooling, you go to military service, and after that, you go into politics and you get a job where you get to sit at the president's desk. That is the blueprint. So why Tulsi? What's special about Tulsi? And why are we talking about Tulsi again today? She grew up as part of the commune. It was a religious surrounding where they practiced Hinduism, worshipping Hare Krishna. Given their Hindu teachings and religious nature of her cult, her views didn't really align with the Democrat trajectory as she made the switch to the Republican Party where she's become not only a member of Trump's cabinet, but she's actually a member of Trump's cabinet I think they're protecting for a later date. See, Gabbard's leaving her position of Director of National Intelligence at the end of the month, which makes it all more perfect for her in the timing of her releasing the biolab information and her getting to be the person that does that. So, we'll come back to that in a wee minute. I just want to have a wee look at the commune, the religious cult, and read some information about that. So, it was founded in 1970. A man named Chris Butler was the founder. His movement had been branded a cult by defectors. Interestingly enough, to state, Tulsi Gabbard herself never did defect from the cult, and in fact, in her second marriage, Butler wrote a long passage about happiness and finding love in her wedding program. So Tulsi still refers to this man as her guru and all that weird stuff. Butler himself started the commune with a goal to spread a 500-year-old Hindu devotion beliefs, which he went on to get married and have kids, which was actually contrary to the group's beliefs. And when the spiritual leader of the group passed away, he formally named it Science of Identity Foundation. Go on, Butler. When you're the boss man, you do what you like. You get married, nobody else can. He had kids, nobody else can. You know, when the guy that was actually doing all the spiritual stuff for the group dies, he fills in. Big man can do it all. Now, this group is also home to the parents of Tulsi. Her dad was actually a politician in Hawaii who was a Republican who then switched to be a Democrat. So he served time in politics there, and he just done it a different way around from Tulsi, which is just interesting that they both sort of made the switch. The cult itself caused some bad press when a member of the cult done all the electric works for a massive vodka distillery that was discovered to have underground tunnels, all hooked up. Nobody knows where they go because they've all been sealed off, and the public obviously aren't allowed to go there. The renter of the property was also linked to several fake aliases and was suspected of running an eBay account called CheesyBay, where he'd sell broken hard drives for hundreds of dollars. And like again, it's one of them things where the comments are always just like weird, bizarre, and disgustingly plentiful. Like, I mean, the comments would leave like 5-star reviews and comments like legit source, not the fake stuff, for broken hard drives. You know what I mean? So you can only imagine with a name like Cheesy Bay hard drives, the exorbitant prices and the fucking weird reviews, exactly what was going on there. The same cult's also funding kids to go to private school, and what can you learn? What can you do with a child if you put them in the right private school? Like, you've got kids of politicians in the cult growing up to be in politics, and she's doing that. Like, she's doing that alright. She's smashing that out the park. And as I said, she first had her military service and all that there done, so it's the American people love her. She's literally a born soldier, that woman. But does anybody else get MK Ultra vibes? I mean, people would think MK Ultra and think it takes place in a lab, but if you're an agency like the CIA, you just set up a baby farm, have a handful of agents, raise them as their parents, and work on them from day one till you can like trust them to speak on the world stage. And if you can't ever trust, I don't know, fuck, you get to be an island boy or something. I mean, even the story of Charlie Kirk, if they throw around the term, they're all talking about Charlie Kirk. Oh, he went to an X-Men school for the super intelligent, and like it's supposed to be like a wee quip, a wee joke. His story is the same as Snake Eyes, the movie. He told people the night before he was going to die. He tweeted, his last tweet is "enough is enough." The quote from the Trump card in the Illuminati game, which is the President of Chaos card. And the final tweet, that was his final tweet before he died. Now, the quote on that card is something like the snipers can get you wherever you are. So it's like that's foreshadowing and stuff like that there. But Charlie Kirk was a special kid in the GATE program, and they all seem to have links when they're playing out this political role. Now, even when you think about it, that's the exact same thing as like Scientology and like the Hollywood celebs. Now you look at that cult in Scientology, like you look at their ties to the CIA. Several CIA offices are like located close to some of the biggest Scientology offices in Hollywood. I mean, some of the disturbing shit the CIA are happy to involve themselves with when they team up with like Mossad, drug companies, and terrorists. Just imagine the crazy shit they could show you when they actually teamed up with someone like fucking Universal Studios or something. You know, like we're already in the digital age now. AI is rampant. Everyone spots the shit. Everyone spots the shit once. I think you're supposed to. That's the point. Like, that's part of the joke, the trick. They have AI, CGI, holographic stuff, all to a point that human minds would probably never comprehend it if they were to see it themselves, but they keep showing us gaffs and easy to tell AI slop, even from the government. Now, that's so when they break out the good stuff, you still don't know what you're seeing, and like dumbing you down isn't just in books. It's also if you're unaware what's advancing and how then you're not going to disbelieve because you don't think it's possible to fake. I.e., if you don't think something's possible to fake, then it's only got to be true. So back to Tulsi. Tulsi jumped ship from a Democrat to be a Republican as she was getting pushback and hate from the Democrats, calling her homophobic and all the other good stuff that they like to do. Tulsi said her upbringing wasn't conducive with the Democrats pushing further and further with the LGBT, RGB light up community. So politicians again spun at his head. Tulsi just said it was their religious beliefs. It's an age old dispute. Just so you're aware, it's that Hindus believe that there's certain chakras in certain places, and if certain actions could damage them, it would probably explain why so many religions don't like the RGB light up people, because just isn't conducive with enlightenment. But we move on. So she got some backlash and jumped ship. Since then, it hasn't got any less strange. As I said, Tulsi is about to leave her role, but she's just released knowledge of biolabs in 120 locations spanning 30 countries. But why is that weird? The Director of National Intelligence, that's what she should be doing. The reason I find that strange is because I was posting about this in 2020. I was posting about secret biolabs and DUMBs and like DUMBs, deep underground military bases. Most people laughed. Most people took the piss. I posted about Epstein and all the kids stuff, and he apparently hung himself since then. So his partner in crime has been charged with 2 accounts of trafficking. 201, of course, because can't let any names go out. There's been several reporters died who's going to blow the whistle and all that there, but of course, none of this stuff is true. Now, that all came from Q. Like, the biolabs and stuff that got there was the QAnon stuff. Tulsi Gabbard has also recently come out and said that there was no connection with Jeffrey Epstein working with any agencies and defended the Trump administration decision not to release the Epstein files. So when you link the fact that she grew up in a cult that has links to the pizza story with all the cheese and people who are surrounded by Epstein, and it very much does the same thing, what do you think now that she won't actually release the information on Epstein? Now, regarding the Q stuff, I'm not actually bragging. I seen these things, years and years ago, and I posted plenty about it. And so when I say I'm not bragging, it's because there's proofs. It led me to believe this was real. At the time, I believed it was real and it was good. As time went on, I started to believe it was real, but it was disinformation, or not for good, but it was for either a distraction or they just like telling you what they're doing, or else they fuck you up. So I've lost all faith in it being good, but again, the information in the biolabs that she's releasing now all came from Q. I forgot all about this. Tulsi released this information. I seen some of the old pages that I'd followed just spring back to life, because one of the posts speak about biolabs and social media, and there was 4 social media websites went down when Tulsi Gabbard made this announcement. So I guess we'll all see as time goes on if anything more to be made of the recent coup drops, or if that's just like, last breath. Like, another similarity I've just noticed between Charlie Kirk and Tulsi's stories is the intelligence agency. Everybody has their opinion on Erica Kirk and the grief, but few ever bother with the military things she done in Romania with the Marines, and she founded the Romanian Angels. People she spoke about publicly, and it was like said how they're like they're her mentor, have faced allegations of bad acts against minors in Romania. Erica Kirk also took part in an unreleased film for the military, which was filmed at the military base Fort Huachuca. It was never released apparently, but I've also seen her give briefs to the CIA, or military briefs to actual, sergeants and stuff like that there, like a boss or a handler. She's also a gate child, the term coined to describe child where had special levels of IQ and were selected for private advanced education, exactly what I was saying you would do if you want to take the best and brightest in a private setting early age and start chipping away at their minds and setting up the MK Ultra loyal devotees type of stuff, willing to die for their cause. When the media talks about that, this level of devotation, they often refer to it as terrorism, but the American government could have been doing that for 50 years at this point. That's what's coming out. Like other people, especially selected or gifted, include like Candace Owens, Jesse on Fire was the people that are linked to the CIA. It's in your media. Candace Owens always has her CIA cup there. It's like her and Charlie were wearing CIA jackets. There's Epstein wearing a CIA jacket, the same CIA jacket that them two are wearing. Maybe not the exact same. It's the same, design. Even Tucker Carlson's dad was famous in the CIA, and now he's private schooled as son of one of the most influential voices in the world. Hannity doesn't hide it either. It's that he's either on Fox News with his CIA pin on his suit every night. Anderson Cooper from the other side is known to have went to private school, and when he came out, he done an internship with CIA. Like, you could go on and on. Now I want to know, is Q back, or are we sniffing opium again? Is Tulsi compromised, or is she actually a white hat? Again, I think that's maybe relying a wee bit too much on the opium. Or do you believe, like me, the CIA have been doing MK Ultra programs from way back, and unfortunately most people you see have been groomed to take part in the world stage? Just a few things to think about. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll leave you this today. Goodbye.
Real concern that planted stories intended to serve a national purpose abroad came home and were circulated here and believed here, because this would mean that the CIA could manipulate the news in the United States by channeling it through some foreign country. Now, we're looking at that very carefully.
Do you have any people being paid by the CIA who are contributing to a major circulation American journal?
We do have people who submit pieces to American journals.
Do you have any people paid by the CIA who are working for television networks?
This, I think, gets into the kind of getting into the details, Mr. Chairman, that I'd like to get into in executive session.
At CBS, we had been contacted by the CIA. As a matter of fact, by the time I became the head of the whole news and public affairs operation in 1954, ships had been established, and I was told about them and asked if I'd carry on with them.
We have quite a lot of detailed information, and we will evaluate it, and we will include any evidence of wrongdoing or any evidence of impropriety in our final report and make recommendations